Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I'm going to be basically doing a video very similar to one I did last year where I talk about what tanks I think are going to be coming in the New Year's auction this year. So December is already halfway through, believe it or not. It is almost halfway through December, which is kind of crazy to say. Christmas is in like a week and a half, which it does not feel like it should be that close, but it is. And with Christmas in World of Tanks, of course, there are a lot of events going on. We have on, I believe, the 17th starting, we have the Christmas event, which will be the main reward, the concept 1B. Made a video about that yesterday, if you want to go check that out. But another thing that comes along, and this is more of a New Year's event sort of thing, but it's called the Blitz Fair or the Blitz Auction, and it is a thing where on the portal, Wargaming will pit a ton of different OP premium tanks of, like tier 7, tier 8, tier 9, tier 10, generally are the tiers that they pit on this auction, and they will start at a pretty, like a regular price basically, and there's a limited amount of tanks. It's usually, I believe, 5,000 tanks, and you can go and buy those tanks. It's per server, by the way. I believe it's 5,000 tanks per server, and the price every 24 hours will drop a significant amount of gold. And so, basically, you gotta time it right where you actually can still get the tank before the tanks run out, but get it for the cheapest amount possible. And sometimes these tanks, a lot of like overpowered tanks, come for pretty cheap prices, because the starting price, honestly, the starting price of these tanks is not bad at all, and these tanks are generally things that don't normally come out into the shop. Like normally they're in crates or something like that, like stuff like the VK90. This year we might have the last year's Christmas tank, the M454 MLE, I believe. I'm probably got that name mixed up a little, but last year I picked up the VK90.01P, the previous year's Christmas tank, which cost you like $250 to get easily, maybe even $300, and I picked it up for 20 bucks. Yeah, that is how good the Blitz Fair auction is. And this year, hopefully, I'm hoping we will have last year's Christmas tank, because I really want that tank as well, and I would love to pick that tank up for like 20k gold or whatever. That tank has never been sold outside of crates currently. As well, maybe tanks like the Object 260 will come. So yeah, that's kind of how the Christmas, the Blitz Fair, the auction works. So every week, new tanks go on the auction. I believe that happens 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 times. So it kind of runs for around 2 to 3 weeks, this auction. And every day the prices drop, like I said, and there is that limited amount of 5,000 tanks per tank that is being sold. So you want to time it right, be checking it all the time to try to get you the lowest price possible, but still be able to actually unlock that vehicle. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Now, what this video is about is me I'm going to try to predict basically my expectations for what tanks are going to be coming in the auction, so you guys know, because I know from previous years, and so you guys know if you want any of these tanks to save up your gold for them, don't spend it all in the event and try to actually save some gold for the Blitz auction, because the event is fun and all, but don't spend all your gold on that event. You want to save your gold for the Blitz auction. The Blitz auction is where it's at. So some tanks I'm expecting. Again, the VK90. I think this tank will come again in the auction, probably for 20,000 gold. Another tank I think will come is obviously the French premium tank heavy from last year, the AMX M4 MLE 54. I believe that will come as well. And there might be two more tier 10s here. I'm thinking possibly the Object 260 or Object 907 will come. I'm not sure which one of those, but I think one of those will come. And then possibly as well, either the Chieftain Mark 6, the WZ, what's his name? The WZ 5A, or possibly the Super Conqueror. So those are kind of my guesses. One of those Russian tanks, both of the last Christmas tanks, and then one of those other tanks for tier 10. For tier 9, I'm guessing maybe stuff like the K91 and the Kampfpanzer will come. For tier 8, now, tier 8, I think this year, obviously, is going to be a little bit different from last year, because a lot of tier 8 premium tanks have come out. I think we'll have stuff like the Skoda T27, the Progetto, the Scorpion G. We'll have probably the CDA 105, possibly. That tank might not actually come, because that just came out. But probably the Kanonen, the Skoda T27, the, what was the tank that just came out? Yeah, the Salmo SM, Emil 1951, the Action X, possibly the Centurion Mark 5. Defender Mark 1, T-28 Defender, a lot of tanks like that. Those sort of tanks are what is going to be coming in the Blitz auction if it is the same as years prior, which it always has been. It never really changes. The tanks stay about the same. They just add new tanks in, or, take out older tanks as new tanks come into the game. I think that's what a lot of those tier 8s are going to be, tanks like that. And then for tier 7, possibly the Gravedigger, Vindicator, Predator. What's another tank? Let me look at tier 8 tanks. Tier 7 tanks, excuse me. See what they have. Oh yeah, Dracula, Hellsink usually come. If you guys ever want to pick those tanks up, those usually come. Then, like I said, the Gravedigger will probably come. Maybe the WZ Blaze. I'm not sure about that one. I don't think that one will come. But then the Vindicator usually comes, and I think the Predator comes as well. So that's basically most of what I think the tanks that are going to come in the event are going to be. There might be some extras in there, that I didn't think about, or maybe they won't have some of the ones I said. But again, that's kind of what you should expect, I think, from the Blitz auction this year. So if you guys want any of those tanks, they should come at decent prices, and you might be able to get them for very cheap, potentially, if not a ton of other people buy those tanks, and the price gets down really low. So yeah, if you guys want any of those tanks, make sure to save up your gold. Don't spend it all on the event, the Christmas event, and save some of it for the auction. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, getting real hyped for these Christmas events coming up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.